Recording in
I'm
progress.
here.
Right.
I'm here
Right.
to share my take.
Right. So, welcome
My
everybody
take.
to a new video. What's your take on the New York mayor, the new New York mayor of New York called Mamdani? Yeah.
New York mayor. You
Yeah.
don't muffle it. Don't muffle it.
The
Just
new New York
uh,
mayor, the new New York mayor.
whatever. The new no. The right way of saying it is the new mayor of New York.
The new
And
mayor of New
my
York.
answer is I want my free bus. I want my free bus. Give me my free bus. I want to ride for free. Come on, give me my free bus.
Is that
Do
his
you
that is
realize that they like
that's the
essentially
campaign?
they voted for the free
Mm.
bus? They just said,
Is
"I want my free bus now. Give me my free ride. I want to ride freely,
so
no restraints."
it's very true that Mamdani has socialist ideas, right? You know,
Oh
um,
yeah, I
yeah,
guess so.
right,
At
right,
least at least that's how he's depicted in the right wing media, which I'm consuming. Well, I'm not consuming anything right now, but I was consuming a month ago, and he was badly criticized. A lot of
yeah.
critique.
He's a communist. He's a commie. He's not a communist, right? He's just an
But he
American
is.
Muslim.
But he
Is he a
is. But he
communist?
is.
Oh,
Oh,
he's a communist.
oh
So
yeah, of course.
he has
Well,
communist ideas.
well,
Okay,
what
yeah.
what was that free bus nonsense then? Why is that?
Look. I've kind
Free
of been
bus.
living under a rock, so you need to fill me in. Not in that way, but you need to right.
What you've been living under what?
A
Sorry, come
rock,
again.
a rock, a
I'm
rock, a rock. Yeah,
Iraq.
yeah. Mm.
Did you live in Iraq?
Under Dwayne the Rock Johnson specifically. The okay. I can see your wires crossing. It's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But
So okay, go ahead.
so yeah. What I want to say is yeah. So can you explain like what is he implementing? What did he win on? Because as far as I'm aware,
Well,
he won
that's
on.
so stupid. I mean, literally, I just seen him explaining like the rationale behind this free bus thing, and so basically he was explaining it like this. Well, we're gonna raise taxes and give people the free bus.
And he just said it like that. He didn't give any
Yeah.
nuance or
No, he
didn't give.
didn't say, okay, we'll just improve this very ineffective like bureaucrat machine that we have here. We'll just optimize things, and it will save us a lot of money, and instead of putting that money in our pocket, we'll give it to people in the form of the free bus. But no, didn't say that. That
Yeah,
would have been a
yeah.
lie, of course. That would have been a lie, but at least it would somehow, well, it would painted him a better picture of himself, But he didn't do it. He just said, "We're gonna raise taxes and give people a free bus."
There you go. He's very direct, right?
Oh yeah,
But you know,
like all the Muslims, right?
well, I mean, I mean,
I'm not gonna
uh,
lie, I'm full of shit.
wait, wait. Do you think it's bullshit? Do you think it's bullshit what he's
No,
saying?
I think he's full of shit. I think he's full of shit. Yeah, of course. But
In
what do you mean? Like,
in
I
what
mean,
sense? In what sense? Hmm.
it's a childish scheme. Well, he's just stupid. He's just stupid. If he's gonna uh bring these policies about, this free bus idea, well, he'll just drive people out of the state, the rich people, and that will be the end of it. That will be Detroit point two point oh or something. I know. Yeah, that's it.
Wait, let's take a pause here because to be honest, I'm not informed about Mamdani. All I know, the main thing that I like him for is his stance on the Palestine war, right? And the fact
Yeah.
that if he was mayor and Netanyahu came to New York, he would arrest Netanyahu. That's what I heard, and I like that.
That's a
That's
bunch
right.
of crap. That's a bunch of crap.
That's what he said. And
Yeah. Okay.
that's what he said, and I was like, yeah, I'm all for that. But the rest of it, though, I do know that he said something to the effect of there are better. He said wealth distribution models out there, that we don't have to stick with this old capitalist model. He says something to that effect, right? Why do we have to, there are better ways of distributing wealth out there. That's what he said. I heard him actually say those words. And so he's basically trying to bring up about a new way of because fundamentally what he's seeing is a bunch of poor Americans and a bunch of rich Americans, and the money is not flowing. Money is not flowing, right?
And they need to be equalized, right? They need to be equalized. They need to be brought to the same level, which means make everybody poor.
No.
Every last one of those motherfuckers will be poor.
Well,
happy.
But look,
the Soviet Union, they were all happy.
Well, I'll tell you something. For whatever reason, the old people have nostalgia for that period, right? Even though it's difficult.
They had this, they had a hard on.
Right, but
they could afford a hard on,
Right. But okay, so one idea of his policy is free buses. I don't know how helpful that is, because to me,
very helpful.
Because in London, there's like a £7 limit, £7 limit. So you can pay using your debit card or credit card, whatever, and you can then up to £7. So basically, in a way, it only costs £7 to use the subway per day in London, especially if you're going back and forth.
I know in many cities they have this policies where you just pay one fare for a day, and you can use all public transport you want.
Things like this. So
it will go anyway. It has to go anyway.
Right.
So just pay your £7 and knock yourself out.
So then, how about with the buses? How helpful do you think it would be for New Yorkers? Would it really help their pockets?
I don't know. I think most of them think it will be very helpful. I believe, because they voted for that.
I want to know. What are Mamdani's main
bus?
What are Mamdani's
main? Did you say main?
Main policies that he has promised,
like hair? No,
because obviously, making New York affordable. Maine.
Does he have a height?
No, but so he's trying. I see the headlines here saying about making New York affordable or democratic socialism, right? 5 key policies. Right. So this is the 5 key policies that he has, right? Let's just see if I can just scroll. Rent freeze, public groceries, right. So childcare, free buses, and affordable houses.
Put a cap on the rent prices. That's hilarious. That's another funny thing. So you will not be able to rent anything.
Okay.
Because no one's going to rent things out for those prices. Oh, nice. I like it.
He talks about childcare, but the thing is, are anybody having any children over there? So I don't know if that's relevant.
Right. But that's another good question. Children. But we have free childcare.
Let's look at public groceries. There's a vibrant. Right. The active.
What will happen in the end? All of your Bolt deliveries will eventually start using free buses because it will cut down costs of delivery.
So essentially, New York City is a very expensive city, and now he's trying to make it not so expensive, right?
To make it naked.
But okay. Here's my question to you. Is it okay for a city to get exponentially expensive to live in? Is it okay? Is it okay?
I don't think it's honestly, my take is it's not okay. It's not okay for everything to become expensive. And I really think that although Mamdani is a foolish idiot and he will ruin whatever New York in the end, but he's running under the premises which are valid premises that this life is becoming expensive, and He and I don't understand why, because there's been like 100 years of progress, which was meant to make my life easier, but my life is nonetheless not easier. And
The simple answer is that at some point, yeah, companies stopped raising wages in line with inflation, right? So and
yeah,
that point was
well,
probably
for some
30, 40
again,
years
so
ago.
I don't again,
Yeah.
so I don't understand why like this. There's been like again, I just reiterate what I said. There's because I want to drive it home. Like there's been like more than 100 of years, like 200 of years of progress, of continuous invention, improvement, of quality of life. Yet my life is not easy because I can't afford a house, and neither
But
can
that
you, I
isn't the
believe.
only way. I mean, okay, I do have a problem with that logic, right? Which or that narrative, I should say, because for example, just to make a counterpoint, our children are not dying from the same things that they were dying from 100
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Right,
Well, yes. That's a good point. That's a good point, and I'm totally for it.
right.
But
So what I'm
that's not
trying,
the only the only
not
thing.
not
Yeah.
being able to buy a house, is that such a bad thing, right? Because
Well, I'd like to buy a house and not and stop renting,
mm,
uh, because
if
I
but that isn't the sole determinant of determining factor of whether you have a good life or not, right?
well, that is another good question. But again, I have to rent. I have to spend money on rent, every month. I have to, yeah, pay,
Mm-hmm.
and
They, yeah,
I don't like it.
right. Tell it
And
to
the
this
point is,
little boy.
if I don't like it.
Tell it to him.
I like you, but I don't like it. Anyway, so
Okay.
hello, boy.
So,
Oh, I
yeah.
think he's looking in the camera now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Are you
nice.
looking at the camera? You
Yeah.
looking at the camera? You can see the red dot on the camera. That's why you can see it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
the the point is, look, um, so okay, you kind of jumped ahead a little bit, right? Saying
no, no,
judging
no.
Mamdani's ideas, which is fair enough. We will get to that. But the first point is that it's wrong for things to get exponentially expensive, right? I think it's wrong because there aren't
Yeah.
just rich people. It's not like Monaco, where the only people who live there are basically rich motherfuckers, right? Okay,
Yeah.
it's fair enough that Monaco is expensive as fuck, right? That's fine. But rich people, millionaires live in Monaco, and that's fine. And the locals, I mean, they have their own thing, but that's fine. Like they're able to live somehow, right? The but in New York, it's not like Monaco. There's a lot of normal working class people.
Yeah.
They need to
Right.
be, but they're living with the same
Yeah.
economy as those rich, people who live in the
Hmm.
skyscrapers, right?
Give me my
So
free bus.
the space scrapers, the so right,
Yeah.
so he's trying to
With
solve
quarters,
that
baby.
problem, right? He's trying to solve that problem.
Yeah.
So this is his idea. Let's 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 bring down the things that cost money in our lives: rent, food, and transport. So like, so he's at least
Okay.
attacking the problem, right?
Right. He's
And
tackling it. Yeah.
he's using rich people's money because
Yeah.
the
Good.
second premise that he has is that there's a
I
lot of
like that
money.
idea.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
money. There's a lot of money in
There's a lot of
America,
money
but it's
in the
not in
hands
it's but it's not
of the
going to
few,
everyone.
of the
Exactly.
few
There's a
individuals.
lot of money in the hands of the few. He recognizes that.
So yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
saying,
Okay.
okay, let's just change our mentality. Let's just change our mindset. Why should we allow wealth and capital to accumulate in the hands of the few? So he's going
Well,
against the
it's
American
fair.
mindset
It's a fair point.
altogether. Yeah.
It's a fair Marxist point. I like it. No,
So
honestly, I
obviously, yeah.
although I'm fundamentally against Marxism and everything, I do acknowledge that capitalism has its problem, and we
And
know what that
he's
problem
fighting
is.
against it, and he's fighting against those
Unfortunately,
problems.
unfortunately, I want to point out that this problem is not easy to solve because, like, if you solve that problem fundamentally, you undermine the whole idea of why people should work. You know, like
Yes.
why do I need to work? Because in the end, I will get the same share as that guy who doesn't do anything. And that is very like pervasive idea. Pervasive, right? I know.
Hmm.
Well,
Pernicious, pernicious,
it's
or
pernicious, yeah, pernicious, yeah, maybe whatever. So it's a very damaging idea. Like
yeah. So then
it is
pernicious,
damaging
then
to the
pernicious is the word you're looking
society.
for. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
pernicious. All right. All right.
yeah, it's like something
Uh,
that's like damaging, but it's a kind of slow, like a slow kind of yeah,
yeah, well, yeah. I understand. Like in the background. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So the point I'm making is that so you undermine the whole idea of why people should work, and
Hmm.
and at the same time, what Marxist theory doesn't factor in is that uh like fundamentally we live in the world that is very hostile. If you stop working, if the whole civilization stops for a couple of days, we will all
You'll be
starve to death.
outcompeted. Well, you'll be outcompeted
Yeah.
by everyone else, right? So if you become
No,
complacent,
not only will you be outcompeted, I mean, if the whole like planet Earth civilization will stop for for a couple of days, you will just starve. That's what's
hmm,
going to happen to you. And
right? Hmm.
that's a bit of a problem that is sort of like overlooked by the Marxist theory, um, which is yeah, which makes me very concerned.
Right.
However, I do acknowledge that there is a problem with capitalism, and
So then, how do we
what
solve
I
capital?
what I
How do you solve
just
capitalism's
let me finish
problems?
my point. Let me
Uh,
just finish. What I don't like about the left in general is that they get diluted, they get sort of sidetracked every time. Like instead of really tackling the money problem. The money problem is the biggest problem of capitalism, like because
right.
uh, people unfairly have a much greater share of money, and I do believe that it is unfair, although it may be fair. But again, so it's a hard
There's an
question where you
unfairness
have to
aspect
balance
to it.
this.
Right. Right. Right.
There's an
Yeah.
unfairness aspect, but at the same time, it's fundamentally fair. But
Right.
it is
Right.
unfair. So it's kind of fair and unfair. However, that is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. So the money problem is the only thing that matters. And what I don't like about the left in general is that they try to bringing as many ideas as they can in like to their table in order to fight capitalism, and therefore they're bringing this transgender stuff, they're bringing like Palestine, they're bringing all sorts of things that don't matter at the end of the day, and they simply because they just want to have more people at the table with all their stupid ideas that don't matter, and the whole agenda gets diluted, and therefore in the end the big brother or the Uncle Tom, Uncle Sam, whoever he is, I don't know, it's just they don't need to do anything. They say, okay, these idiots, they just they align with a bunch of useless people and they will not do anything in the end, so we can just sit and wait and eat popcorn.
I want to point out
The
that
end.
no, I want to point out that there's something valid in what you just said there, which is the bringing all these ideas together, and what it does is it makes us endlessly debate. And in fact, from what I understand,
That's
this
right.
is it. This is in the rich people's interests, right? They do want us to
Absolutely.
be endlessly distracted with various issues, right? Whether the issues are valid or not doesn't really matter. They want us to be endlessly distracted by those ideas, right? You know, right? Because like for example, for those rich people, if you're a billionaire Indian man, you sit at the same table as a billionaire white man. They don't see color. It doesn't matter to them,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Like we even have an orange man, like
They don't
Donald
care.
Trump. Like
Yeah.
Donald Trump is orange,
Yeah.
right? And he's
Yeah,
sitting at the
of
table.
course.
So the point is that like, but we in us
Martian.
ple- us plebeians, right? We focus on all these. Oh my God, you're from Africa. Oh my God, you're from India. Oh my God, you're this kind of caste, or you're this kind of race, or you're this kind of station. The people at the top, they don't see it like that because they're out of it because they're so rich. Now, our
Yeah,
was so
and my
powerful. By
point
the way,
is that you only by bringing in more people, more ideas to the table, you just you gradually go away from the main idea, which was at the beginning of the whole thing, the money problem, and therefore I don't like the left at all, and because they're just messing it all up terribly,
well, I don't
and
like the left because they've been
therefore
bought out by the right anyway. So, so
right. Well, in a way,
they're in the hands of the corporations anyway. So, that's why I don't like them. Right. So,
so and again, and in the light in light of what I just said, this Mamdani initiative of giving people a free bus, at least it's something, and I have to acknowledge that it is something. Although I don't like the how he rationalized it, how he explained his way of doing
what
it.
you want it to be more complex, like politicians speak,
Yes,
you know?
yeah,
Mm.
I want it to be more complex. I want him to say, okay, we no, basically what I would want him for him to say is that we're not gonna raise taxes because it's a bad idea, because in the end all the tax raise will trickle down to the simple people, and so you will pay more taxes for your free bus, uh, and that's it.
But
So
it
what I
is
would
it is a
rather
bit of
prefer him to say that, yeah, we have this like very good like cryptocurrency schemes or something, I don't know, that will uh, back up the free bus policies,
yeah.
whatever.
I mean, there is a flaw, and it depends on how he's going to change the tax system. But there is a flaw, which is, hey, give us more of your money so that we can give you, so that you can spend less money. But that isn't the problem. The
That
problem is
is
we don't have
ridiculous.
enough
That's
money.
ridiculous.
We don't have enough money in the first place.
No,
Increase the
but
amount of money that we have. You know,
question one, do you agree that tax rates will eventually trickle down to simple people,
yes,
to the plebeians? How did you call
because the
them?
rich people are incentivized to avoid and to evade tax, and they will do everything they
Yeah,
can to
and
do
they're
that,
very
and they
good at
do
it
it,
because
and
that's
they're
all they
very
do
good.
all their life. Yeah.
Right. So, us plebeians, we might end up paying 20 to 40% tax. They're paying 10% tax, right? Or 5%, right? So, or
Right.
even
So
less, right? So, yeah.
so
So
in the end, it will just be another burden for you, the tax
it'd be
rates.
just another burden.
Uh
And then it makes
no,
me
well, not for
question
you
as
because
well,
you don't live in New York, but
right?
for those like us. And so and again, so it's not the best way of providing the free bus. you
No.
know.
I mean,
Uh
I think, well, the best way to give the free bus is to change the budget spending in the first place, right? Because that's the
yeah,
problem, right? That's where the
exactly.
problem is. That's what the problem is. The government already has uh, a buttload of money. It needs to figure out a better way of spending that money rather than sucking up and siphoning off more of the money from its citizens. That doesn't make sense. And if you're going to do that, at least stop all this tax evasion and tax avoidance, right? You know, actually go after those people that are, the corporations that are not giving you the billions and millions, right? Like Amazon, like Tesla. Stop giving them all these grants and stuff, right? Then you will have the money for
Right.
the free buses without taking it from the people, right? Uh, so there's definitely a better
Yeah.
way. And the fact that he's even suggesting tax increases makes me wonder who he's truly working for. Yeah. So, mm.
Yeah. I think he's working for Hillary.
Is he?
Because in the end, everyone is working for Hillary. But anyway, the thing is, I really, I just want to summarize it by saying that he's gonna mess it all up, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, the question is, even if he
And
implemented all of his changes,
good for his voters.
even if he implemented everything, will will those changes be lasting, or will they just be a temporary blip in the
Yeah,
existence of New York? And
they
once
will
the
be
mayor
deplemented in
changes,
no time.
but here's a question: do you think that Mamdani is the sign of a new kind of politics emerging in America?
I think he's just another leftist populist, and like Maduro. He reminds me of Maduro or Chavez. Literally, it's like electing Chavez in New York.
Okay, okay.
And then so after him there will be a drug dealer mayor, like uh like a drug cartel mayor or something, and after that they will get bombed by Trump. So let's bomb New York. I think they
So,
by the way they want to bomb Venezuela. So they want to bomb the shit out of Maduro and his cronies, whatever.
bomb,
And it's
yeah, they
interesting.
want to bomb,
Yeah, something's
yeah.
unfolding. Yeah.
Mm. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Donald Trump definitely needs to bring the attention to somewhere else in the world. Yes. So he's probably
Yeah,
going to do
he
that.
he likes bombing shit, bombing the shit out of everybody. He likes it.
Yeah.
I can smell it. Yeah, I can see his orange skin. He's like, because it's like it's my war tan, like orange.
Right. Right. Right.
He meant
Right.
it to be red, but he was, I don't know, like
He
they
got the
sold him.
wrong. They
He
sold him
got
the
the wrong
wrong one.
color. Yeah, because he's of his myopia or something. I don't know.
So,
So
so, so,
yeah.
I mean, okay. So, because I was hoping that, because Mamdani, because here's the thing, what I really liked about Mamdani's campaign was that he was pitted against the sort of traditional sort of right, candidates, and who were saying all the right things, so to speak, all the classic politicians speak that they say, all their stance on Israel, or their stance on economics, or their stance on this or that. They
Why,
keep
why,
this.
why does it eventually come down to Israel?
It always does.
What,
I mean,
what do they have to do with it? No, literally,
the,
why?
look, there
No,
was
I,
a
I,
I
re
saw.
I really want to know why. It's a small country of 10 million people somewhere, uh, you know,
Because
well, in a nice place though. Yeah, but
it's not like it's not just another country, whatever. It's a country that is very deeply integrated and connected to the American elite. Yeah. So
okay,
it's
all right,
it's it's it's
okay,
not
makes
it's not
sense.
just it's not just it's not just some backwater. Oh, we're no, America and Britain created that country. They invested in that country
No, they didn't. No,
politically.
they didn't.
They absolutely created it.
No, 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 they
Absolutely,
didn't. No, 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 they
absolutely,
didn't. They
absolutely,
didn't. They
absolutely.
didn't.
Right?
They didn't.
They did.
No,
They did.
no, 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 they didn't. Because the idea of that country had been around way longer before America,
So
like you said, created it.
right, I'm
And
not. I don't mean Israel as a historical nation or anything like that. That's been around for a while. I don't mean that country. I mean the country right now that is in that region that calls itself Israel. That country, that from a political and legal perspective, that country was created to
by the
by
way, I have
Britain.
this question. I have this
Mm.
question for you. Do you think the problem with between the problem that Muslims have with Jews is that because in Quran uh, the God cursed the Jews?
No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. Um,
But the God
well,
did curse the Jews, right?
uh, so what he did do, what God said in the Quran was he talked about history, and he talked about how some, he didn't say all, how some groups of Jews did some bad things, like they killed each
Okay.
other, or they killed the prophets that were sent to them.
Right.
They disobeyed God and things like that. And he didn't do a kind of he didn't just paint them all with the same brush. He actually singled out different groups. Now and then he was, and so yes, and he was saying that those people that did those bad things, they were cursed, and they were cursed with God's anger. They were cursed with God's anger, and yeah, and the reason those stories were coming up is because the Prophet Muhammad was experiencing difficulties with the Jewish tribes in Medina.
Yeah.
And it was really a lesson for them to learn how to navigate their relationship with the Jews at the time, which, to be honest, didn't go very well. Yeah. So
let me just summarize it. So the God did not curse all the Jews, but he cursed some of them.
The ones who did those bad things. Yeah.
How do we determine now which Jews are cursed and which aren't cursed?
No, it's specifically, it's not like that. It's not like God's curse or whatever. It's not like a static thing. What God tries to teach us in the Quran is that there is a dynamic relationship that all of us have access to, and the Jews and the Muslims and all that, and so even the Muslims, if they do all those bad things, they will also be cursed with God's anger and humiliation and all that, which is why we see the Muslims being cursed with humiliation and all that. Like all the stuff that we're seeing in the Muslim world, we are a completely humiliated and defeated people, right? Like the Muslims are basically humiliated, right?
I would add at their own device, but okay.
Exactly. No, absolutely right. They because of their own weaknesses and problems and mistakes and absolutely. Yeah, it is 100% because of the weaknesses endemic in the Muslim people and the way of thinking and so on. And
why wouldn't I mean if Jewish state is aggressive as an aggressive state, why wouldn't all surrounding countries of Israel that are Muslim countries, why wouldn't they just build a wall on their border and report to UN every violation of that every time the wall was taken down by a Jewish tank or something, they would just signal to UN, and that would be very very clear sign, like you can't hide it. Why wouldn't they just build a wall and just shut themselves out from Jews and start living their own life like
okay, I'm gonna say something that sounds really really bad, but it's really really true. The Arabs, because of how deprived and how much how inferior they feel, they pretty much think about money all the time. They're very, very materialistic. They don't have this sort of.
Everybody does that.
No, but
I think of money all the time. All the time.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's say someone needs your help, randomly on the street. You would help them, but if you're able to, and it doesn't take you out of your way and all that, you would help them, right? Like if you had the ability to, would you ask them for money?
No.
Why not? But you think about money all the time. Yeah.
It just, I don't know why.
People in Morocco would ask for money.
It never occurred to me.
People in Morocco would ask for money. Yeah, people in Morocco would ask for money.
Like if there's a person like dying from a stroke, I would just stop buying, call ambulance, and I wouldn't ask anyone for money. No.
The people in Morocco for certain would ask for money, right?
Really?
Right? Absolutely. I mean, I don't know about that kind of emergency case, but if we talk about an everyday case, right, of just needing some help, right, you need to find something or whatever, they'll ask for money for that.
But it's not only to do with Arabs, man. It's not only to do with Arabs and Muslims. I was in Georgia and I was asked for money to show directions, basically, literally. I was brought in somewhere I was brought to a place by a taxi driver, and he didn't kick me out of the car, but he said, "Oh, end of the journey, you can get off." And I got off, and I didn't know where I was going, and I asked somebody for directions, and he was like very evasive to give me a clear answer before I gave him like 2 lari or something.
Okay, okay. I
And then
mean,
after I gave him the money, he would just say, "Oh yeah, that way over there."
right.
It's like,
Okay, but in it's very different. I have Arab an Arab Israeli student who told me he went to Egypt recently, and on the border, like literally the first person that he met as soon as he stepped onto the border of Egypt asked him for a bribe, basically a policeman on in the border of customs, and it was shocking for him. It was
cool.
shocking for him because he was like, now he understands why they didn't help the Palestinians and so
You
on.
know,
Because
they could wear badges with like sort of self-explanatory names like Mohammed the bribe taker or something like
yeah,
that. Mohammed
exactly,
or like
exactly.
I don't know
Yeah,
what the other Egyptian name
the
like
Mohammed's a very common one. Yeah, Abdul. Oh,
Abdul
Abdul.
Money.
Oh, Abdul. Yeah, Abdul could be another one. Yeah. So the point is, here's the thing. Now, okay, but if we talk about the elite in Saudi Arabia, in whatever, they are fat cats. Some of them are literally fat, but fat cats.
Yeah.
They their lives revolve around their materialistic life, and meaning that they're not thinking about, oh, this is a threat. They're just thinking, I have my good life here. What can I do to maintain this good life? That's it. That's it. That's it. What I want to say is that the elites who rule these Arab countries are stupid, and I mean they lack intelligence. They're not smart people. And what I mean by that is that they don't have this very deep thinking. They don't have this deep ambition. They just they just happen to fall into money, and they just happen to and they want to keep that money. They're not they're not deep people. They're not spiritual people. They're just materialistic vampires, right? And
Hmm.
they're not intelligent. They're not intelligent, right? They're just average IQ, perhaps maybe less than that. And I know this because they believed that Donald Trump would protect them. They believed that America will protect them, right? And anyone with half a
Text
brain
who?
cell,
Who
huh? No,
who
because
you
they
talk
have.
about specifically?
I'm talking about the Gulf countries. The Gulf countries, they have
Are they in any kind of trouble now? Gulf
no,
countries?
but Qatar was bombed by no,
Yeah,
was it
well, that
Qatar?
was just
Qatar was
one
bombed
little
by.
bomb. Just one little bomb, man.
It shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened, right? Because they. I'm not saying it
Yeah,
shouldn't,
and
but
it was targeted at some Hamas people,
right.
and
But some
it was well
Qataris
on
also,
target.
but some Qataris died as well. And the point is
Oh,
that yes,
collaterals.
they did target Hamas. That's true, but at the same time, they have an understanding or deal with the United States that they will buy weapons and stuff, and they will sell the oil in petrodollars. In return, the America protects them, like literally protects them. Yeah.
By the way, speaking about the buying weapons from somebody at this modern computer age, can you imagine the situation like you buy a bunch of airplanes and then some guy in Pentagon he just press the button and your planes will never take off because you know
It can happen. It can happen, right?
it's
So,
absolutely it's possible and doable.
right. Yeah.
Like
The point is, instead of building anything of their own, they just buy.
or yeah.
They build tall buildings, and then they buy weapons, and then they buy support from and they bribe Donald Trump and all that with their
Yeah.
fancy yachts and fancy airplanes. Ultimately, they're not really intelligent because if they were intelligent, they would understand who their enemies are and who
Yeah,
their
like
allies are,
they would be
but they
like
don't.
Russia, produce your own weapons. Like,
I mean, otherwise you're just relying on Uncle Sam, and Uncle Sam doesn't have your
yeah,
best interests because he hates Islam, right? So if
he
we're
doesn't like it
Muslims,
clearly.
yeah, if we're
Yeah.
Muslims, and that's a fundamental part
But
of our culture, of our mindset, then Uncle
that's
Sam doesn't like
mutual,
it.
right? Like,
No, but it's different because you see,
It's not like the Muslims like Uncle Sam, but Uncle Sam doesn't like. It's not like unrequited love or
Unrequited, yeah,
Yeah.
or unrequited. I think both are correct. It doesn't matter. The point is the thing is Islam is an older civilization than the American one. However, it's now a
So
hollow
what?
civilization. The point I'm saying there is that
Well, Russia is older than America, but who
right,
cares
yeah,
in the end?
but nevertheless, there's a dignity there that the people feel, right?
Yeah,
And
well, and then you can say that Indians are definitely older than Islam, and Chinese are older than Islam, and many and like
right,
European,
no,
like
what I'm trying to
Greece,
say is that what I'm
Israel.
trying to
Oh,
say
by the
is that
way,
yeah,
Jews are older than Islam.
yeah, but the point I'm saying there
How could they
is
have been cursed? How could they have been cursed when Allah didn't exist when Jews existed, or
Allah did
or he
exist,
wasn't
right?
discovered yet? I don't know.
It doesn't work like that, right? But okay,
Okay.
the
Well, he
point.
existed. They just didn't know about him.
Well, I mean, from a Muslim narrative perspective, everyone was given Islam, but then they turned it into, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism. But everyone was given
They
Islam, but
perverted it,
they converted it,
distorted it.
they distorted it, polluted it into whatever they wanted it to be. But everyone had
Yeah,
Islam. But so, yeah.
whatever. Anyway, at the end of the day, I really feel that all religions they're not the same, of course, but they're all of them are based on prejudice mostly, and they really have to be reworked. All of them, all of them. Anyway, man, we
All
are
of them. All of
way
them.
out of time. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Uh,
So
by the way,
yes.
can you stop recording? I have
Okay.
this little announcement for tomorrow.